everyone, how you all doing? Hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome to another video. This is the monthly report for the month of December 2022. We go through all of the news and highlights of the Demoscene of this previous month, in this case the first half of December 2022, and we will cover all of the things that you might have missed. We have three very interesting demo parties happening this month. We're playing the track by 𝑨𝑴𝑰𝑮𝑨 of Jaws that was released at Posadas Party, because we don't have an intro screen, and we had this amazing FFT effect for Dick 80 that Aldroid has been working on for the jams. Anyways, let's get started with the first things of the month. First things first, we have Demoscene related media. I'm gonna stop the music for a little second and tune back to this screen here. Okay, so Demoscene media that happened on the month of December. We have quite a few different things, starting off with Cowee's Christmas calendar from Mountain Bytes. They've been doing it for last year already as well, and they'll be releasing one video every day in the beginning of December, so up to the 15th. You have the full playlist here. As usual, everything that we list, everything is in the description. You can find them there, and we also have a playlist where we have all of the videos linked up. Next item that we have to talk about, it's the 64 NOPs magazine. It's a physical magazine about the CPC, written in French by some French sceners. So that's very interesting articles, and they're having a crowdfunding to back up the printing, the physical printing of the magazine. So if you speak French, if you're interested in the Amstrad CPC, you should probably check this out. For 20 euros you can get the physical number with a lot of different articles from the different people involved in the active CPC scene of the Atari CPC in France. Other stuff that was released, My Secret Life as an 11-year-old BBS sysop, was a very interesting article that came out at Ars Technica. It told the life of a young kid in the 90s, getting into the whole BBS system, picking up a nickname, having friends that were maybe not so much his friends. Very interesting nostalgia trip. Did remind me a lot of the horrors that I had to explain to my father about the big telephone bills from using the internet a lot. In this case, he set up his own BBS, and it's a very interesting article, so I definitely recommend you checking it out, especially if you were active back then. Even if you're not, even if you're just curious on the legacy. Other stuff that was released, LFT did this performance of Oh Holy Night using C64 and his new 64 based accordion. Then we had the PT Weekender did happen after all. I should probably go to this view so you can read these things on the YouTube. PT Weekender did happen after all. I thought it had been cancelled, but it had not. There was full recording of the session that happened on the 3rd of December. There are at least 6 videos of it already up on YouTube, so if you missed it, do check it out. And we're checking out music made or mixed on an Amiga. Mixing Amiga mods on the Amiga using the PT Tracker software. More news coming up. The Nano Awards is asking for recommendations. If you want to go through all of the side-scrolling things that happened in 2022, you can use Demozoo and I think 𝑨𝑴𝑰𝑮𝑨 as well, but I'm not sure, to recommend stuff that should be evaluated by the jury. So please do check that out as well. They have a website as well for the Nano Awards, which is also linked. Then we had this very interesting article released by Raistlin of Genesis Project, the Sideborder Bitmap scroller, talking about some tricks that they used in Memento Mori. A very long write-up, but very interesting stuff, especially if you code for the Commodore 64. Then we had a very good interview with the people behind the Pumpkins, this mega group of C64. It was recorded as part of the Transmission 64 stream, and I was a bit worried that it might have passed by a few people, and it was a very interesting interview into the insights of how they made the demo, why they got motivated to do the demo. So if you're interested in that kind of side behind the demo scene things, It's a very cool interview to check out, and I do heavily recommend it. More things. Gasman released a couple of files to be able to edit TIC80 chunks of data. Mostly and he did this setup in particular, or the script in particular, so you could change the main image that represents the cart, which there was this bug, and he used this tick set screen thing that uses his other script, so 2 scripts overall. Anyways, you can change the cartridge image on the TIC80 now to represent the proper colors, because on TIC80 you can do this trickery where you can change the colors on the code. If you take a screenshot of that, it gives you the screenshot with the default palette colors and not the colors that you've been poking around, and can look quite weird when you upload it to tic80.com. So now you have this tool to try to capture proper screenshots, or more representative screenshots of your entries. So a couple nice things from Gasman. Then we had this very interesting, well, it wasn't really news, it already happened a while back, but it was interesting that it was being shown. There was this Chinese researcher slash demoscener called Pengan, and he's been giving some courses presenting the demoscene in China, explaining the origins of the demoscene, and trying to get Chinese people to make demos, which is always good. There's a small course for people, and he explains the body of the course, and he also wrote a book related to this course, and you can find it online as well. It goes through all of the demoscene history, the relation with the different scenes, like talks about the chip music scene, the hacker culture, and he goes into talks about the Chinese demoscene itself, what it is or what it wasn't, and the motives why it hasn't really been so prominent in China. And hopefully this will help revert the situation and start seeing more demoscene things happening in China. Fingers crossed, hope people pick it up. But even if you're not Chinese, this is a very interesting read. He goes very in depth into all the stuff. He did very good research, and he explains things very well. So definitely recommend you to checking it out. Still in the proofreading phase of the thing. So if you see any errors, you feel free to contact him or submit a pull request to fix this. This is all open on GitHub. So yeah. Really cool, very good initiative. Well done, Pengam, and I hope other people find it interesting as well. More news that happened this week. There was this talk that Crypt gave at Field FX explaining what the demoscene is that was just made public. Also worth checking out and distributing if you have someone wanting to know what the demoscene is. Then we had this Acapella cover of Kings of the Playground made by MT, which was very funny, and I definitely recommend you checking it out. There was this remake in 4K of the classic Enigma by Phenomena by Kim Rom. He used a remix track by Virgill of the track, and he made this new version with commentary and things like that. What else? Love Byte is organizing the Tiny Code Christmas. More for you to start learning how to code. If you're a seasoned person, you can get on the challenge of trying to make a Christmas scene in the lowest amount of bytes possible, 256 bytes preferably. And a lot of people already been doing a few Christmas trees and snow effects and things like that. If you're new into coding, or if you, I don't know, want to have your kids start learning how to code graphics, this takes you step by step every day and gets you a bit deeper into the whole thing. It's a very good tutorial to get started. Coding graphics in general, coding graphics specifically for the TIC80, which is very accessible platform, and start animating them, and then learn the tricks how to size code things into very tiny sizes. So yeah, definitely check it out. Tiny Code Christmas. It's going to be 12 days overall, so still a few to come out. And you can join the Love Byte Discord as well, where a lot of people hang out and talk about what they've been working on for the Tiny Code Christmas. Why do I keep saying tiny size? Yeah, more stuff. Field Effects organized the Monday Night Bytes yet again. They've been organizing it every single Monday. This Monday in particular, we had special presence by Ferris on the decks, mixing some music, and Mentatronic, Super Rogue, Tobac, and Aldroid coding some Christmassy sort of things as well. So yeah. Interesting sessions. I've been missing them because of family logistics, but they seem to be a lot of fun and help. Fortunately, there are recordings of it, so I can see them back, but it's not the same as catching it live. So if you want to get more into Lua coding, TIC80 coding, you can talk with Aldroid to participate, to be one of the coders featured, or just hang out in the chat while they're coding and learn some tricks and talk some stuff. So yeah, hope you take advantage of these sessions because they seem to be really cool so far. More stuff that happened. Oh yeah, Cables released a new update. They've been releasing updates somehow regularly. This one wraps up the things for 2022. A lot of small usability changes that they made, and a lot of demosceners use cables.gl to do their demos without having to remake an engine from scratch. So I thought it would be nice to include these updates as well on this month's video of the Demoscene Report. And I think that is it for the Demoscene related media. Onwards to out of compo releases, we have not that many, but let's check them out. So first things first, the Christmas demo 2022 by Pixel 8 Studio. Pixel 8 Studio had released some stuff before. It's mostly animation for the Apple II, but it is sort of well done. It has a nice little touch. It left me baffled on a few things in terms of the culture that each different country has in terms of the food that you eat for Christmas. Apparently they have turkey, and we don't have turkey in Portugal, so that's a bit mindfuck for me. But other than that, it was a pretty nice little demo to check for the Apple II. Then we had Hellofiends by Atlantis and Pretzel Logic released outside Anycompo with a very good patch key art by Lobo. And then we had the Elysium State by Stardust, which was released back at Cowee Party, but the binaries were never released. They were working on a final version, and they did a very good job. I think this final version is really good, has a couple of effects that are really mind-boggling. They really take advantage of the full... They have streaming from div MMC, so it doesn't really work from tape. And they have some very interesting trickery with the multicolor giga screen, whatever it's called, things. Please check it out. Really good demo. Very, very well done. The final form is really good. Talking about final forms, Aeon Drift by Disaster Area also took its a little bit of time to have the final version come out. It was released at Syntax, but only the binaries were now released. Features this very good twister that you can see on the screenshot here. Very solid demo for DOS. A lot of different scenes, has a very decent cohesive style overall, even though it's a bit all over the place. It still has like a charm of its own. So really one of the best DOS demos that I've seen this year. So congratulations to Disaster Area. What else we had released? Return of the Droid by One Man for the Amstrad CPC was also released. Got some decent feedback. And then Fire number 35 and Ashiansi art pack was released by Fire. A lot of good stuff, like this Lemmy reference. Actually, a few Lemmy references on this pack overall. Like a lot of good quality Ashiansi stuff. So Like this one's really cool as well. I think collaboration between Irokos and Tainted. Really high quality. Wednesday from the Addams family. So yeah, if you're Rashi and Nancy nutcase, by all means check it out. Really cool stuff. It's really nice that they still have a lot of activity on the Ashi and Nancy scene. We don't talk about it as much, but it is a niche of the demo scene that is still quite interconnected with everything that we do. So yeah, that was it for the out of compo releases. Let's talk about some demo parties. First up, we have Transmission, and that happened in online on the 3rd of December. Let's change the view to see the demo zoo thing. 4K demo. They didn't have that many competitions, but they did have a very interesting stream overall. 4K demo was won by Lethargy with this nice multicolor faking effect. Then we had Trinity of Arise, the Jellyfish by Vision. And I think if I refresh this, I have screenshots that are updated. Yeah. Trinity, Jellyfish, the basic one-liner as well. They had this new competition. I think it showed up for the first time at Zoo. I could be wrong. At least it was interesting to see the results of it on Zoo. Probably already happened on a few parties before that. People trying to do effects with just a basic instead of doing assembler or machine code, which is interesting, but at the same time it all feels like a bit of a hack, like a lot of pre-computed stuff. But anyways, 2-bar basics won, Transmission Rings 2nd place, and Twirliner got 3rd place. Basic Screen Fader only had 1 entry, but it was really good. Fracture by Triad. Then the demo compo. A lot of entries once again. 5th place to Proxima, 4th place to One Screen 5K by Xenon. Then Onslaught with the gray, black, and white demo. Sync with I think is the name of the demo. Padua made the demo itself. And then Remission by Triad got 1st place. Had some nice line animation, skeletons animation, and some physics, also simulated physics. So nice little C64 demo there. What else? Graphics compo is always very high quality on the Commodore 64. You can see some entries here. Automaton by Facet. A lot of high quality stuff. Almighty God as well. A lot of entries. Music compo won by Vincenzo. Mibri with a 3rd place. Usually he also tends to win these compos. A lot of music. And then the Patchkey compo, which was dominated by Lobo, is very good patchy artist. For me, it's one of my favorite patchy artists, this Lobo. He does a lot of patchy stuff, and all of it is very high quality. Honcho got 2nd place. A lot of detail there as well. Gordian got 3rd place. Toricano, bit of nostalgia picker, but nice technique here and there. I don't like the aliasing on it, but yeah, it is what it is. Moai as well. Then Ordos. Oh, nice, like technically looking stuff. Then Artemis at the Moon on 7th place. So yeah, nice little patchy art compo as well. And that was it for Transmission. As I said, not that many compos, with just a 1-day thing. Was interesting. I managed to catch some of the compo live. They had this presence at World of Commodore that was happening in Canada as well, which was also interesting to see and witness and have the connection with the people who still use 664 daily, not being necessarily demo seniors. Well, daily. On occasion, I don't know. Does anyone still use Commodore 64 daily? That would be nice to hear about, actually. So yeah, Transmission, 664 party that represent. And then we move on to the Atari scene representation with Silly Venture, the winter edition of this Polish demo party happening in Gdansk. As always, they always have a lot of entries, a lot of submissions. So let's check it out. And I think I should have this view. Have a lot of stuff happening. You can see the compo listing here. So many compos that happened. I'm just gonna go through some highlights in terms. I'm gonna look at the score mostly here and talk about those because there are so many entries. You really need to check everything out. They do have a video recording of the entire compo block, so if you have 3-4 hours of your life to check everything out, the link is on the description. Check that out. And they're still uploading productions. They're not yet on scene.org, so some are still missing. Some have been uploaded by the own people who released, so it's still a bit of a mess, but we can still talk about a few of the releases that happened. So Atari Falcon, a lot more Atari Falcon activity has been happening on this last couple of years, which is interesting to see. Menger Marcher won the 256-byte compo set, got second place. Then a Cube got third place. Atari Falcon demo, owned by Lamers. I have checked it. It's interesting. I think you can still do better stuff on the Atari Falcon, but it had some 3D and some animation stuff, so yeah, nice little demo there. This game got quite a bit of attention, the 8 Runes of Aurelian. Pretty good quality for the limitations of the Falcon. It's an RPG sort of game where you go around, similar to Eye of the Beholder, but very well polished. And then we had, and I need to refresh here because I know I updated some of these graphics. Then we have Atari of the Falcon that won the Atari Falcon graphics by Critical. Nitric got second place. Rafis got third. And then Design Flaw by Exoset. So not many entries submitted to the Atari Falcon graphics, but all of them pretty good quality. We also had a demo for the Atari Jaguar with some lines. Interesting. A game released for the Atari Jaguar, a game released for the Lynx, some music for the Atari ST, STE4, an intro for the Atari ST, STE. This one looks pretty good. I haven't seen it on video, but the screenshots look very promising. And it's 96 kilobytes, so yeah. And the demo of the Atari ST, STE. Good quality by Hemorrhoids. I did see this one. And then the Laser Days EP. Wasn't Laser Days already released by... Maybe it's another thing also called Laser Days. I thought Laser Days was released by DHS, I think it's called. Or Music Disc by... I should know his name, but I don't remember right now. Anyways, another Music Disc by Devotion. Game for the Atari STE. Some graphics for the Atari ST as well. Very high quality. Love the limitations of the palette here. This one has steps, so it's not very good for us to see here. You can see the full image here. What else? Music, as always, the YM music. They also have a compo dedicated for the Pokey chip. Music for the Atari VCS 2600. Demo for the Atari 2600. I definitely want to see Flycat by KK of Altair. It's not out yet. KK of Altair released this very cool cover version of Drink Horse Repeat or Drink Dance Repeat. So I know he's very good at the Atari 2600. I'm very curious to see this demo in particular. Have to catch it. A few other releases for the 2600, and then we had the 16K intro for the Atari XL XE. It was won by the Atashi Compo Invitation. Second place for Celia Ribbon. A few games. 256-byte intros, one by Village, one with Village by PSO and Tricks of Agenda. Then we had the Atashi compo. For those who know what Atashi is, it's similar to Petsky on the Commodore 64 using the Atari character code sheet. You do graphics using only that. Dragon Hunt. not quite up to the quality that we're used to from the patch key compos, but they're actively organizing more competitions for it, so I do expect the quality to increase on the next few iterations of the compos. Atari XL XE demo was won by Xelox and New Generation with the demo Unified. State of Slayer by X-Men got second place. The other ones got not that good voting, so I guess comparatively they might not be as good. Have to check them out when they are finally out. Game also released graphics for the XL XE. Music for the Poke Chip, as I mentioned. Atari XE 𝑨𝑴𝑰𝑮𝑻𝑒 demo. I don't know what a 𝑨𝑴𝑰𝑮𝑻𝑒 is. Some version of the Atari, I guess. And then the Wild compo, where you throw everything that didn't fit in any of their other compos. Having a party with so many compos and not being able to find a compo to fit your entry is a bit mind-boggling. But well, it is what it is. So I haven't seen Childro. I did see Happy Birthday Atari. It was just a Thompson. A Thompson entry with the music from the Commodore 64, so that felt a bit weird, or at least it sounded to me like the music from the Commodore 64, so I'm not sure what it's doing on the Commodore on an Atari party, but well, you know, stranger things have happened. That's it for Silly Venture Winter Edition. A lot of entries, as I mentioned. It's one of the parties with most entries usually. I think I saw statistics from actually Pengam, the Chinese Demoscene and researcher that I mentioned before, which listed the parties that had the most releases were Silly Venture and in Poland and CAF Party in Russia, and mostly because these two parties, these two events, have a lot of compos, and people end up doing a lot of fillers for those compos just to have something in the compo. Most of the compos have 2-3 entries, which is totally not my cup of tea, but you know, different people have different things. Some people like to mix all the entries into a single competition, which is, I prefer to have fatter compos with a lot of things mixed. Other people prefer to have, you know, 20-30 compos with a few entries each. To each one their favorites. They have their pros, they have their cons. Moving on, we had Posadas demo party happening in Spain, which was a very small party that happened. Batman Group did an invitation for it a few weeks ago, and the reason that they apparently did the invitation was because they were working on a production for it called Batman Rises, which got like 51 points compared to the 38 points of Cyberomnium. But if you see the demo, it's a masterpiece for the Atari, for the Amiga, OCS, ECS. You have to see it. One of the best demo releases of the year so far, and there are not many weeks left in the year to be surprised. Would not be surprised to see this being nominated for quite a few entries on the Meteorix Awards. Batman Rises by Batman Group, have to check it out. Software Failure also released an entry. Ham always has something for every single party that he attends. Cybersomnium. It was pretty decent. Good quality graphics there. I'm not sure if they were conversions or if they were pixel graphics. I think they might have been conversions from some things, but overall was a pretty solid demo, but just didn't reach the height of Batman Rises. The other entries were also interesting. Dread Intro is pretty much leftover scroller effect from what they've been working on the demo, I would guess. Not very readable, especially because it was in Spanish and had this weird shape. So it was funny to have it being shown for so long on the stream, and everybody was like, I can't read this. I don't know how the hell you're supposed to expect me to read this. But yeah, they had fun, that's what matters. Our Hut was the first entry that they did, so congratulations for releasing something on the demo scene. It featured a hut, it featured a Alien. What more could you possibly ask for? Half a kilobyte of crap, also just a filler compo made by Compo Fillers. Fast graphics also had some decent graphics in them. But yeah, small party, as you can see, not many entries. The track music compo was also pretty good quality. A strike won with chip music style low, and second place for Joss, which was the track that we played in the beginning of the video here. Wild compo, Posadas Latlon, won by 𝑨𝑴𝑰𝑮𝑮𝑨, and that's it for the things that we had to show from Posadas. We have the top of the month that we can also check, which is very interesting considering the different things that happened. Batman Rises, as I mentioned, tons of positive comments on this. You really have to check. It's really a killer demo. A lot of people are already comparing it to Aeon of TBL, and it even has a scene that they wink at TBL. They reuse the crow from one of the TBL Amiga demos in this demo as well. Just have like a wink at TBL. So yeah, Amigos, yes, definitely on one of the most actively interesting platforms right now. A lot of very high quality releases being thrown at it, so very interesting to see how it keeps going. Grungy Time by IQ also got a lot of positive comments, was released at Demosplash. Elysium State, as I mentioned, was released at Cowee, but only got the final version now. Also got a lot of positive comments. I have the Beholder, the game that I mentioned for the Commodore 64, mentioned it last month. Monochrome by Spreadpoint, Amiga demo intro, released at Demo Nights. A couple of releases from Inertia. The invitation from Decadence for the 64 8K Inside party happening in May, I believe, next year. Aeon Drift from Disaster Area, the final version that was released now, was originally released at Syntax Demo Party. Requiem for a Team, made by Gargai. Another entry by Inertia, also listed here. Tokidoki by Gaia Space Agency. Purple by Sensor Design, which I want to say was released at X, but I don't think it was released at X. I think it was released somewhere else. Let's see where it was released. Oh, I need to click here directly. Miss Data. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and a few other releases either from Inertia or Experience Demo Party and Miss Data as well, as we mentioned before. So interesting dynamic. A lot of demos just got their final versions up and a lot of thumbs up, while a lot of party productions that were released at the party in their final form didn't have that much feedback when they were originally released. So it does seem to pay off to do a final version, a polished version, and release it outside of the party. Afterward, it seems more people pay attention to it or go watch it again or actually bother commenting, which is one of the things that is annoying me a little bit about 𝑨𝑴𝑰𝑮𝑮 on the recent months. There doesn't seem to be that many comments. When you release a random new production, you don't get that many comments. It needs to be like very high quality for people to come and comment, which is a bit sad because you're not giving feedback to the people who've been working on the demos, and that can be a bit demoralizing. So a plea, please consider commenting constructive criticism, but do comment more on 𝑨𝑴𝑰𝑮𝑮, or try to comment more on 𝑨𝑴𝑰𝑮𝑒, even if it's just a random production. Try to say something positive about it. There's a very good rule of thumb. Whenever you try to see a production and you don't know what to say about it, try to say something positive, try to say something negative, what you would do to make it different, how you think you would do improve it, but trying to see it from the perspective of the person who did the entry. Another rule of thumb sometimes used is try to mention 3 positive things that you see, or try to mention 3 different things that came to your attention, and try not to be a dick about it because people are sensitive about their babies. So yeah. That was the top of the month part of the show. Let's move on to upcoming parties. Not that many happening, but still a few worth mentioning. We have Under constructions that was cancelled. Zenta is the replacement party happening on 27 and 30 of December. Not that much time left. You have 2 weeks. And then we're having the Lichtenberg Scene Demo Music Competition, LSDMC, only open for tracked music entry. So if you have a tracked music entry, please submit. I'm organizing it pretty much to give away the tracked music trophies from Inertia, that the combo was cancelled. But we are trying to make an interesting party out of it, a live stream event happening on the 30th of December. I also heard that there will be a New Year's live stream happening from Field Effects as well, which is not listed here, but will happen on the 31st of December as well. Then a few things from January: Scrolly Party, the Winter Hack, D-Halt in Russia, the Jumalauta Farian boat will go to Stockholm and back to Helsinki. Mega Ireland, GURP, Love Byte, already a lot of things happening on the way for Love Byte. Fjälldata happening in Sweden at the same time. And then Assembly, Winter, and Mountain Bytes happening at the same time as well at the end of February. So a lot of things coming up to keep you busy, doing more Demoscene productions. Hope you have been having a great seasonal fall. Enjoy all the good Christmas food. Don't eat too much. Remember to exercise, all that stuff. Hope to see you around on the next video. Bye bye everyone. Take care. Have a great day.